Okay, in this example, we have molten magnesium chloride electrolyzed in a cell that operates at 4.5 volts and 1.5 times 10 to the power of 5 amperes. We are asked to find the number of hours it would take to produce 544 kilograms of magnesium and the mass of chlorine, the number of kilograms of chlorine produced in this duration. So we're going to use our answer and letter A to solve for letter B. So given here is the current, which is 1.5 times 10 to the power of 5 amperes, and we're given the voltage 4.5 volts. So for magnesium, so ang magnesium kay adto na siya sa anode, sa cathode. So 2 plus 2 electrons producing magnesium. And then for chlorine, it will undergo oxidation, producing chlorine gas, plus 2 electrons, so produce 2 here. So sa letter A, nangita ta sa time. So for time, we need to find Q. So solve for Q first before we can find for T. So A, solve Q. So for Q, gikan ang mass, so 544 kilograms of magnesium. So ato saan siyang i-convert into grams. So that's 544,000 grams, diba? So 544,000 grams, and then we're going to use the atomic mass of magnesium. So we're using here 1 mole for 24.305 grams of magnesium. And then from the number of moles, we convert that to the number of moles of electrons. And we can see from the half reaction that 1 mole of magnesium plated or produced, for every 1 mole, kay 2 mole electrons nga transferred. So nanatay mole electrons. Gikan sa mole electrons, convert ta into coulombs. For every 1 mole electron transferred, ang charge kay 96480 coulombs. And using our calculator, we will be able to solve. Medyo dako-dako siya. It's 4,318,874,306 coulombs. And we have Q already, so we can now solve for T. So solve for T. So T is equal to Q over I, diba? So because Q is equal to I times T. So Q, copy that, 4,318,874,306 coulombs divided by the current, which is 1.5 times 10 to the power of 5 amperes. And we'll be able to solve, this is in seconds, so 28,792.50 seconds, but the question is in hours, so we have to convert seconds to hours, and in 1 hour, that's equivalent to 3,600 seconds, and meaning 8 hours siya class. So this is our answer for letter A. It would take 8 hours to produce. For letter B, we're looking for the mass of chlorine, so pila man ang chlorine. So we're going to use Q again to find the mass of chlorine. So mass of chlorine, so gikan sa Q. So 544,000 nga. No, sorry. It's supposed to be Q. So Q nga 4,318,874,306 coulombs, and then 1 mole electron for every 96480 coulombs, and then from the half reaction, we can see that for every 1 mole of chlorine, there's 2 mole electrons transferred, and then 70.9 grams nga Cl2 for every 1 mole of Cl2. So the mass of chlorine in grams is 1,586,899.81 grams of chlorine produced, but the question is in kilograms, so we have to convert. 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1,000 grams. So we divide by 1,000 and we'll be able to get 1,586.90 kilograms of chlorine produced in the process. Okay, let's solve example number 5. A metallurgist wants to chromium plate his car's hood ornament. The ornament has a surface area of 13.64 inch squared, and he wants the chromium plating to be 0.0040 inch thick. If a current of 9 amperes is used, how long will it take to plate the ornament using a solution of chromium chloride as a chromium source, wherein the density of chromium is 7.19 grams per cubic centimeters. So for the plating of chromium, so the half reaction here is Cr3 plus 3 electrons to produce chromium, a solid. And we are given the current, that's 9 amperes. And we are looking for the time it would take to plate. So kung nangita ta og time, kinahanglan ta sa Q. Diba? And if we want to find Q, we need to find the mass. Okay, we need to find the mass. How are we going to get the mass? Through the density. So through the density, kinahanglan ta, diba? Kaya ang density is equal to mass over volume man. So natay density, mangita ta sa mass, kinahanglan tag volume. So asa man nato pangitaon ng volume? Gikan sa surface area o sa thickness. So first thing di ay to do is to find kung pilay volume of plating. So the volume of the plating can be solved. So V is equal to the surface area times the thickness. So surface area is 13.64 inches squared times the thickness nga 0.0040 inches, and that's equal to 0.05456 cubic inches. So nanatay volume. So pagkakita na to sa volume, use the densities to solve for the mass of plating. So the mass of plating, M, is equal to the density times the volume. So 7.19 grams per cubic cm times 0.05456 cubic inches. But dili pareha ilang unit. This is cm and this is inch. So we need a conversion factor, and we know that for every 1 cm, that is equivalent to, for every 1 inch, that's equivalent to 2.54 cm. So linear naman na siya, then we are going to raise this to the power of 3. So makancel na ning cm cube, makancel na ning inch cube, ang mahabilin kay grams. So the mass is approximately equal to 6.43 grams. So once na natay mass, we can now solve for Q and then eventually solve for I. So solve T. So ato na lang na siya idiretso. T is equal to, diba, Q over I. So ang I, na naman tay I, pwede na nato diretso 9 amperes. Kaning mass, diba, ang mass, gikan sa mass, padulong sa N, padulong sa Q. So, ato na diretso on. Dimensional analysis, gikan sa mass, 6.43 grams. Convert to mole, For chromium, 52 grams chromium, 1 mole chromium. And then from the number of moles to moles electrons, 1 mole of chromium plated needs 3 mole electrons transferred from the half reaction. And using Faraday's constant, for every 1 mole electron, charge is 96480 coulombs. And computing, so we will be able to get that it would take, wa man siya nag-ingon kung unsa unit, so we'll use seconds, 3,975.73 seconds.